I just have a question. Why do black people typically vote Democrat? Do they not understand that the founders of the Ku Klux Klan was the Democratic Party?
So this gentleman is asking why black people vote Democrat predominantly. He then proceeds to white splain why they shouldn't, basically saying that Democrats are racist. He then goes into a historical discussion, which is very flawed, but I'm not going to discuss that here. That's been done by other people, probably a lot better than I could do. As a matter of fact, I duetted one that I thought was an excellent response. Rather, I wanted to address just one comment that he made.
Fact check this too. Biden was an advocate to not allow the Little Rock Seven, if you don't know who they are, look that up, to integrate. They did not want black people to integrate. And Biden was one of them people. He seriously, fact check, it was one of them people.
I don't need to fact check that to know that you are completely wrong. First of all, it's not the Little Rock 7, it's the Little Rock 9. The only Little Rock 7 that I'm aware of. KATV Channel 7, an ABC affiliate out of Little Rock. I'm assuming that's not what you were talking about. What you were referencing was the Little Rock 9, which were 9 African American students who were involved in desegregation of Little Rock Central High School. That was in 1957. And you claimed that Biden was one of the people advocating against the Little Rock 9. But there's one key thing that we need to look at here. This occurred in 1957. Joe Biden was born in 1942. So you're claiming that Biden was one of the people advocating against the Little Rock 9. He was 15 years old when that occurred. But the primary substantive flaw in your reasoning is that Biden wasn't against integration. Biden was against busing to achieve integration. He thought there were better methods to achieve integration. Busing was not a good idea. Incidentally, Republicans agree with him. Biden said at the time that busing was the wrong way to push integration, that integration should come from integrating neighborhoods, eliminating job discrimination, changing housing patterns, and changing our tax structure. So before you tell somebody to fact check something, you might want to fact check yourself. Have a day.
Did he just white-splaining?
Yeah, thank you. You must have
Something
been
like
thinking.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, he just literally. Yeah, boy, you said exactly what I was thinking in a way better way. I could have said it. Thank
But
you.
you know, the guy, the Republican conservative guy, right? It's almost like he fits central casting for them, where you can tell that he's not that sharp. Like he's not. And so he's gotten hold of a few little points and he's just going to throw them out there because when they were given to him, it blew his mind. So he's like, so did you know that he did this and that he did that? That's because you're still amazed. And unfortunately, they didn't tell you the whole story. So you're coming out here sounding lost. And it's unfortunate. It really is, because a lot of people are ignorant because they haven't been exposed to the right information the right way. And yeah. And you know, it's sad. I believe that I possess the wherewithal and the patience to help a lot of people come through a lot of pieces when it comes to just race relations, economic situations, things that bring us together as human beings and as Americans. I actually believe that I could do a pretty good job talking to a person one-on-one and bringing them through without being overly judgmental and all that good stuff. I just don't want to. Let somebody else need to do that.
Can I say, Mr. Vice President, when you talk about desegregation, I was that little girl.
Yeah, when she said that, I was like,
I'll never forget that. And then next week dropped out the race. But I'll never forget that.
Who did
but
that?
that was Kamala.
That was Kamala. And
That was her calling him a racist.
Mm-hmm.
She did. She was like, I was that little girl. Like she was gonna cry.
And then
Girl.
Booker got to crying for her.
No, Booker cried at the Supreme
Booker
Court
cries
hearing.
on
Did
everything, though.
Booker cry all the time.
Booker cries. Booker
The
cries.
only person that cried more than Booker is Van Jones. And you notice ever since Bezos gave Van Jones all that money,
he stopped crying.
we ain't heard nothing from Van Jones.
Somebody give me that money. I ain't crying.
That man disappeared.
That's what he was paid to do.
He can pay somebody to cry for him now.
I was that little girl.
Yeah, but see, I had my issues with Kamala just because she put my people's history on like it was some kind of dang costume, and it pissed me off. You know what I'm saying? So that was what annoyed me. But I can let that part go because she still had to grow up living in our world, and she did choose to embrace much of our culture as she was growing up. So I can let some of that go, even though it still felt like she was kind of performing as an African American instead of being one. But it was complicated. It's a mixed thing.
But
And
don't
then now,
those people in the Congressional Black Caucus, they do exactly the same thing.
the Congressional Black Caucus is worse. So what they do,
Yeah, they actually are. I'm
yeah,
like,
they're worse because what they do is they just sit in the seat. They don't do anything. Like now you got two members of the Black Congressional Caucus that I can think of that ever show up, and that's Maxine Waters and old Clyburn, right? Maxine show up, so I mean she's tired now, so that's why you don't see her that much.
It's gotta get bad when you have to describe Clyburn as old Clyburn.
I'm just saying, but Maxine, I think her heart was always in the right place. You can question anything you want to. She's still a politician. I get it. But I think her heart was in the right place, and she was actually trying to fight the best way she knew how to fight all the way. She's tired now. Clyburn, he just been sorry. He been a gatekeeper for so long.
he marched with
There's
Dr.
nothing
King,
left.
though. He
Yeah, that's
marched
cool.
with Dr.
And then
King.
he sat his butt down, and he's just been now he's the one who has the anoint who is worthy to be the next black anything. No, dude. Retire. Just retire. Don't nobody like you no way. Just retire.